Okay, it's a Friday edition here, Philly Voice Sports Bets. We appreciate you rolling with us, and we have a lot to look at in a little bit of time. So thank you, first and foremost. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. We have Thursday night football to look at. Baker in the house. I see some head shaking. I don't know why you guys are shaking your head. I cleared 5 units on that thing, that monstrosity last night. Look, what did we say? Ultimately, what did we say? Right? And the only caveat was that Perkins dude. If that Perkins dude was playing, then all bets were off, right?
Right.
What did we say? I see the Harry finger go. What did we say, Harry?
We said we would not be shocked one iota if the Las Vegas Raiders found a way to fritter away a football game. And that's exactly what happened. You can't make a 3rd and 1 with your running back to keep the clock going and keep possession. You deserve to lose. Screw Baker Mayfield. He still stinks. And I'm just hoping that this little blip will add a little boost to the Rams lines going forward so I can go against them because they stink.
Yeah, I mean, they were practically given that game on that last drive. I mean, from the flag,
the penalty,
inexcusable plays in terms of the Raiders, how you let them march down that field in 2 minutes. I mean, it's Baker Mayfield. You have Baker Mayfield coming in a brand new offense that he's learned for 2 days, and he runs a 2-minute drill to perfection on you. There has to be some self-reflection, right? Like, that was just awful football. And it just, I mean, they said it. Kirk Herbstreit said it last night. Like, it seemed fake almost what we were watching.
It was fake.
It didn't seem real.
It's all fake.
It was fake.
But here's the thing, right? So I think there were 2 approaches last night. And look, I don't know if you buy into this. There are constant arguments back and forth, but somebody from, I think it was Book It, tweeted a picture of like 95% of the tickets all coming in on the Raiders and the money and everything like that. But again, last night, I think you approached it one of 2 ways. You either approached it like, oh, the Rams, like, I'll be contrarian and I'll bet all this on the Rams because the Rams, it's the NFL, which I think is a very dangerous strategy, but can be profitable at times. The other was what we talked about on Wednesday, fellas, which is you don't lay points on the road with Derek Carr, and especially now with Josh McDaniels. They are 0-4 straight up against the spread this year, laying points. The variables of how they get there are the entertainment, right? Like, that's what makes the sport fun to watch. Right. But the end result, they broadcast this ahead of time. They were not going to cover that spread.
Yeah. I was sitting in the bar at the 1912 Club late yesterday afternoon with a guy who gambles a lot, and he's actually been very hot on the World Cup, Matt Minjone, and he said to me, he says, all logic lies in the Raiders. Okay, the quarterback has been there for 2 days, not even 2 days, and he's not even very good. The Raiders have won 3 straight. They're favored on the road by X amount of points. You would say, yeah, it's an easy Raiders game. That's why I'm taking the Rams. And he took the Rams. He put it right in front of me. And then he took Iowa against Iowa State because Iowa State was a ranked team laying points, and Iowa covers too. So there you go. It's contrarian. The contrarian argument is a great argument.
Well, look, I mean, the public bets favorites and they bet overs. So if you're on either of those sides, and look, people try to create terms, reverse line movement, just to justify that they're on the same side as the public. Right. But the reality is, like, the public can win, and you can fade the public every single time and hit about 51% of your bets, much like you can the other side of it.
Right.
Look, that Iowa State game aside, because I think that there was some telltale signs of that when I stayed away from it, unfortunately. But look, I will say this: as far as the NFL is concerned, the big takeaway last night that I think continues to be validated is you have to look at these teams individually, because outside and Matt, Harry, Matt, this is what I would say. The last thing for me on this Thursday night game was, unless it's the worst team in the NFL, like the Texans, right? All bets are off. If it's not the worst team in the NFL, you just look at the other side. And I'm with you. Your buddy's right. Like, they won 3 straight, 2 of those in overtime. One of those just coming off a division rival. They spent 3 of 5, and I think 5 of 7 on the road. All of this would indicate, like Derek Carr's record as a favorite, all this would indicate if you just took like a couple of seconds, but you you get caught. Oh, Baker Mayfield, all this other shit. I'm just saying, if you just look at these one team individually and not who they're playing more often than not, I think that stuff will appeal to people out there is my only point.
Yeah, well, at least Josh Jacobs hit the over on his rushing yards. There you go.
I was going to say, we did hit. I wasn't, I did mention to you guys I had sprinkled a little on that Raiders to win by 1-6. That was about a quarter unit, but luckily we made it. We made it back. The big hammer, I had tailed you on something similar in the kicking prop. I didn't take the over in the total made, but I'd take Daniel Carlson over 1.5. So obviously he hit 3 last night, and I was able to make everything back on that one.
He's a stud.
He's really good.
Come with him. Yeah,
he's one of the best kickers in the league.
Look,
really
man.
Is.
Speaking of kickers, this we talked about this yesterday or Wednesday. I told you I think there's a disgruntled employee. It hits again on a primetime game. It was a plus 125 hit on BetMGM. Each team to kick 1 field goal in the first half. If it's prime time, I have the data. I have the spreadsheet, Maze. All right. If it's prime time, you have to play it, especially since you're getting plus money. All right. Let's move to the rest of the NFL here. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles. I sent you that ridiculous stat that 17 of the last 18 New York Giant home games have gone under the total.
Yeah.
I jumped on under 45.5. It looks like it's dipped now to under 44.5. I think that's got to be the best play of the game, right?
Yeah, let's ride that. Let's go under big time. Because and everybody's talking about, this Philadelphia Eagles offense, and rightly so, because they've been doing it on the ground game. They've been doing it through the air. Depends on which week. Oh, they're going to score X amount of points. This would be the game where this ends up like, 20-17, some kind of ugly game like that.
20-14, 20.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be, what is it, 7 right now? What do you got?
Yeah, it's 7.
I think it's 20-14, 20-13, 20-12. It's hovering on the 7, right?
Yeah.
Like that key. And the Giants are either going to have a chance to cover, or the Eagles are not going to cover and they're going to run the ball out, what have you, right? Like it's going to be one of the, I'm with you though. Like I feel like it's got to be under 20.
That's why I'm teasing them.
Teasing who?
Teasing the Eagles down.
Not the Giants up.
No, because the Eagles are going to win the game.
You sure about that?
Yeah, they're going to win.
You said that about Washington.
They're going to win. Well, that was a draw.
No, I meant the Eagles against Washington.
Yeah, these divisional matchups are just always so much closer. So in that game, I'm seeing you could get on Caesars the +7 for plus 105. So I think for the odds of that, I like that. I think it's going to be a 3 to 5 point victory. Like Harry's saying, I think ultimately the Eagles will come away with this one. But these divisional matchups in the NFC East are always extremely close. It doesn't seem to matter. Yeah, exactly. It always comes down to that grit and grind football.
Yep.
One guy I was looking at,
a kicking prop too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
the Eagles don't kick. Just a reminder here. They
right.
They do not kick. They're like a college team, which I love.
Yeah, I was looking Devontae Smith this week. I know we're talking about unders, but I like his over in yardage. That comes in at 58.5 at -110. And I think my thought process on this comes because obviously he had a great game last week. And I think Wink Martindale in this defense is going to try with a depleted secondary to take away A.J. Brown and make the next best guy beat you. So I think 58.5 is a pretty fair line.
Yeah,
and I mean, they're going to focus. A.J. Brown he's swole Batman. You got to put more than one guy on him. So I think with all the focus on A.J. Brown, Devontae should be able to get his game off.
And anytime you can mention Wink Martindale, I'm in.
It.
Yeah, you love Wink.
Yeah. Especially when they knocked off the Ravens. So we called that revenge game here. That's the game on the calendar here. I also think, look, Daniel Jones, 2-1 straight up, 3-0 against the spread versus Philadelphia since 2020. And I think what's interesting about all these Daniel Jones trends that are good, right, is a lot of that was when Daniel Jones was just dog shit and the team was dog shit. Things have changed. Now, they're not a great football team. Matt mentioned there's injury upon injury. Saquon Barkley's neck is hurt now. So a lot of injuries. I get it. But bad Daniel Jones was covering the spread against a good or decent Eagles team. Just something to think about. All right.
That's why you tease it.
I'm with you. Look, I think you're right. You either tease Dallas. You either tease New York or Philadelphia, but I'm with you. This is a perfect tease opportunity.
Yeah.
for either one of these teams. By the way, just I was talking about this with Walter Football from his really big site there, a lot of drafts.
Oh yeah, that's a great draft site.
Awesome site, right?
Yeah.
So I do stuff now weekly with on Odd Shopper with Walt. He's a local guy to us.
He is?
So, yeah, we're gonna get him on the show.
We gotta get him on.
Yeah, he'll come on with us next week, actually. So he was talking about it though. 14 is actually a way more prevalent key number than 10 is. And a lot of people don't realize that. So when you tease a dog from 7 or 8 or something like that through or to 14, you're actually doing yourself way more of a service than teasing somebody to like just 10 is my point. Now, if you're teasing them through the wong and all that, but they both work is all I'm saying there. All right, any action on Dallas? Let's go around this division real quick.
No, I got nothing on that game.
All right.
I just think it's a spot where Dallas can just sort of cruise and not work. It's too many points.
You're right.
The game. I'm not. Logic says they're going to win it. 40-7.
Yep.
Or, but it's the NFL.
I don't want to get Baker Mayfield again.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're right. You're right. And look, Walter was the guy who actually said never bet on the worst team in the NFL, and that changes each week.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, you don't want to take a risk, especially because Davis Mills is back. Like, you just don't want to take a risk.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. All right, let's move on. The other game, there I have a couple of other games here in the NFL I want to hit. Michigan, and let's hit like the big 4 in the playoffs before we get out. Some NBA action as well. But you could just close your eyes and blindly bet a team at +3.5, especially this year, and win and probably hit like 55, 56%.
I'm doing it this week.
Yeah, especially, right? Especially if that spread, right, stays in that 3 range. So Tampa Bay, who we have been fading forever, right, Harry?
Yes.
Like forever, we have been fading here. I don't know.
I love them.
Here's the thing. All right. The big thing for me is regression. At some point, regression sets in. Tampa Bay is not turning anybody over, and San Francisco is turning everybody over. Yet, Tampa Bay doesn't really turn the football over. They just don't score. So
right.
I think San Francisco's main area of attack has been short fields, benefiting and such. Kyle Shanahan is 15-22 ATS, 8-29 straight up without Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Because he's had bad quarterbacks. Guess what Brock Purdy is, folks?
He's Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, yep.
Look, I'm telling you, the Bucks 3.5. Now, again, you could blind bet this, and everything I say could sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, and I could be right, but I'm with you, Harry.
No, that was one of my ads today. Is Tampa Bay +3.5 and +155 on the money line. I think they win the game outright.
I'm seeing Bet365 for +165. So
yeah, there you go.
Great odds for that.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
well, that's worth the sprinkle.
This is a perfect NFL game. All this attention now on the Niners. Brock Purdy. Can they make a run with Brock Purdy? Look what he did last week. With no preparation. Blah 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 blah. Here comes Tom Brady. It's going to be an ugly game. It's going to be low scoring. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find a way to win this game like 16-13, something like that.
Yep. Love that. I think the other one I wanted to hit here, Baltimore +3. I don't know if you guys are on this game at all. The look at the opening line was 6.5. So Lamar Jackson has now been credited for 9.5 points of a line swing. Nobody in the NFL is worth 9.5 points. And Baltimore has a guy who's a capable backup.
I think he's half decent.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. Now, here's the kicker. All right. Last 7 games, Baltimore is only allowing 3 yards per rush and 64 rushing yards per game. Kenny Pickett is going to have to win this game with his arm, and I don't think he can do it.
No, I agree with you. He needs a running game to have a chance to win the game. And this Huntley kid is not bad, man. I actually think, and it's been said, Mark Schlereth actually said it earlier this week, he throws a better football than Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
He's not a better player, but he throws a better football than Lamar Jackson.
Now
I agree with him.
Thinking maybe, just maybe, we put like a quarter unit on a Bucks Ravens money line parlay.
You could
just a little. You know that meme, the Salt Bay.
Yeah, a little sprinkle, just a tad. Just a tad.
I'm just
I have a
saying.
question though. Wait a minute. So Monday, I did bring up these same Ravens in this matchup.
And
you
I
guys
ripped you,
did
right?
say you guys were not like betting against the Steelers. So where have things changed? Because I'm a big Huntley guy as well, and I think his
Yep.
play style is so similar to Lamar Jackson. It's not like
Yeah,
Harry
they don't
saying
have
it's
to
not too much
change
of a
any of the
drop-off.
offense. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it was looking. It was what was brought to my attention, Matt, and I'm glad you brought that up. Check us, hold us accountable, right? But two things that I looked at that I bet since our conversation on Monday. First was the rush defense for Baltimore, especially because the first 5 weeks it was horrific, and they have clearly changed something, and now they're going up a one-side or one-dimension team on the ground. And also the fact that it was brought to my attention, Baltimore was -6.5 on the opening line, and there's just no way in hell Lamar Jackson is worth that many points there. Last thing I'll leave you about in this game, if you really want to have some fun, Pittsburgh is 4-0 ATS first half since their bye week. You could take the Steelers first half and the Ravens +3. You could.
Yeah. I think the acquisition of Roquan Smith has a lot to do with that too.
Great call.
I mean, that guy's just all over the place.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
Love Roquan.
All right.
Roquan.
Anything else in the NFL that you guys want to hit here?
Yeah, I was looking at, I know you're a big fan of the Seattle Seahawks. I was looking at them to cover the 4 this week, especially looking like that they're going to get Kenneth Walker back. So I think you could hop on that now.
Kenneth Walker,
4.
the third.
The third.
The
Yep.
third.
There's two more original copies of Kenneth Walker, but the third of them happens to be the best NFL running back. And I think if they get him back, that's going to move by 1.5 points at least. He makes that big of an impact on that offense. And I think especially against Carolina, Geno Smith at home, 12th man, Pete Carroll, like it's all there for Seattle this week. So I think they cover that 4 at home.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
And did you know where Kenneth Walker the third started his college career?
Well, not where he ended at Michigan State.
Correct.
Temple.
Wake Forest.
Wow.
Wake Forest.
It's amazing,
Cool
man.
guy.
This kid can play. I'm with you. I actually
Good.
money lined. I don't trust anything, but I money lined Seattle and Tennessee because I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust anything else. I think Harry brought them up maybe Monday or Wednesday. I waited and waited. It dipped to 9. I did jump on Buffalo -9.
Oh, it's now to 10.
Oh, wow.
It's now at 10 on DraftKings.
Ooh.
Oh.
What's the meme? I'm telling you, man. Look, say this out loud. The New York Jets are going to beat the Buffalo Bills twice this year, and the second time is going to be with Mike White.
No, they're
This
not going
seems
to
like
beat them.
Will Mike White fall off?
I don't think they cover. I think Buffalo sends a message.
Oh, really? You think this is a beatdown?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I agree.
All right.
All right. Let's look at. I don't have any college yet, although I got to credit Matt for that shade ass book that we're using now and pillaging some college basketball props.
They have some sneaky props in there. I'm digging it.
We are pillaging. All right. Anything in, I know that we have college football, the Army-Navy game, and I don't know if the bowls or anything like that. We know both of these teams run. The total is set at 33. I think it's a pretty sharp total.
Yeah.
So what I may do in this game is wait until somebody scores, hopefully in the first 5 to 10, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, and see if that total bumps up a little bit, then maybe live under it. But
And then live under it.
yeah, but I mean, from a side standpoint, I would imagine Army has just a slight advantage, but even still, Navy's probably the better overall team.
Yeah, I took Navy on the money line.
Yeah.
And that was -125. It's actually, I think, going up now.
Nice.
I think it's probably about -140 or somewhere around there.
Yep, I see exactly that.
Yeah, so I'm on Navy. The other one that I'm going to add in, well, no, wait, South Carolina, we were all over Notre Dame. I took them on the money line at +140. I think they win this game easily because Notre Dame lost their quarterback. He's in the transfer portal, and I don't think they're going to give one shit about this bowl game. But South Carolina, to use this as a way to beat Notre Dame in a bowl game, I think it means a hell of a lot more to them. And that's what you got to look at with all these games. Outside of the 2 championship round games, who cares more? That's really what bowl games come down to.
Yeah, I like that. No, that's a great call there. South Carolina.
Yeah.
Like that as far as a look at. I'm going to tail that one there. All right, so Monday we'll have more, I think, clarity as far as lines are moving, shifting around. People are going to start betting, I think, a little bit more into the bowl week. So
Yeah.
at some point, maybe we'll bring somebody on and just run through bowls and rapid fire with them or something along those lines. And we'll track Walt down from Walter Football as
Good.
well. Yeah.
One other one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. We got time.
There's a golf match on Saturday.
The match.
Saturday. Yeah, 6 p.m. under the lights down in Florida. You get the world's #1 player and Tiger Woods at plus money. I am taking it to the bank. It's
Can
12
Tiger
holes.
hurt him, though? That's the thing.
No, it's only 12 holes, and he's
Okay.
using a golf cart.
Okay.
So his leg will not be an issue.
It's
I'm
not
taking-
like worst ball scramble where
No.
you have to hit the. Okay, just making sure. I like it.
McIlroy and Woods plus
I like it.
105.
Yeah, I like it. Mic those two up together because
Oh.
I will pay money to hear those two guys have a conversation on the golf course.
Just
every-
DVR it.
Yeah.
Just watch it
Yeah.
later.
Awesome. No college. Again, I'll get the college stuff out. Matt, if you have anything on the way out in the NBA, I will say this. The Sixers line has moved already, so I don't think there's a ton of value there. I think you can parlay the Mavericks and the Sixers money line tonight. I think Dallas has figured a little thing out or two on offense outside of Luka. Milwaukee's a tough team. They may even sit somebody. So I like them winning outright. And then the Sixers, I don't trust this movement. I'll just take them to beat the LA Lakers.
Yeah, I definitely. The NBA, we said it's been pretty volatile to start the season, but in the past episode, I did go 3-0, hitting the Jazz Golden State Warriors
Nice.
over in that total. Gobert came through on 2 of our plays. He put up, 16 and 21 the other night with 2 steals and 3 blocks. So absolute monster game that smashed both his points and rebounds prop and then that steals and blocks as well. Tonight, I'm looking at Julius Randle. And as a Knicks fan, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the guy personally, but he's been having his game. And against the Charlotte Hornets, I'm taking him over 8.5 rebounds tonight. I think they're just a little too small, and I don't think Plumlee's going to be able to hold him. We saw Julius Randle actually dominate Clint Capella the other night for 17 rebounds. Extremely impressive, actually. And when he tries and when the effort's there, it seems that he is a good player. It just really comes down to effort with him. So I'm rocking with the over 8.5 there. And then I was also looking at the Cavs tonight, -5. I think they've been hot, and I think this is where we're seeing the Kings cool down a bit. Like you said the other day, they're not sneaking up on anybody. We kind of know they have some young talent now, and the Cavs are really figuring out with Donovan Mitchell how to gain this team chemistry. They came out and absolutely slapped around the Lakers last night. Like, that was just a good beatdown, and I think they continue that dominance at home tonight, covering the -5.
Yeah, I think that's dipped, actually. Maybe a half to a full point. So if you like Cleveland, you may even be able to get that below 5 by tip.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Because I was looking at that 5.5 late last night. Awesome.
I like
Anything else, Harry?
No, that's it.
All right, let's sweep the board. We'll see you Monday. We have a lot. Go Navy.